Hello, this is Ben119 and welcome back to another video. This is part 2 of the 120 star tutorial. If you missed the first part, we did from 0 stars to the end of Bomb on Battlefield. And in this part we're going to be doing SSL, LLL and HMC. And we're going to finish off with Vanish Cap. So something I didn't really mention about 120, if you're not familiar with it, obviously it's getting all of the stars. And 2 of the stars are from these rabbits called MIPS. The first MIP spawns at 15 stars and the second MIP spawns at 50 stars. So obviously if we do this route we're going to end up leaving basement with 50 stars, so we can then get the second MIPs. But if we went to basement earlier on, we'd have to come back again a second time for the other rabbit. So doing it this way we can get both of them while we're in basement, so it makes more sense with the route. You can also do the basement late route, but I'm not covering that in this video. I'm just going to be doing this route because it's the one everyone's familiar with, like I've been saying in the last episode. So we're going to do SSL. You can do Hazy Maze Cave first if you want, or Shifting Sandland, or even Lethal Lava Land. It really doesn't matter which stage you do first in basement. You can do all 3 in any order you want, but I think it's slightly faster to do Shifting Sandland, then Hazy Maze Cave and Lethal Lava Land. So first star I'm doing is red coins, and as you can see, when I got the first red coin I backed up a bit and then I triple jumped over the slope. It's just that if you triple jump over the slope straight away, 1, you don't have much room to build up momentum and it's easy to die in the quicksand, and 2, the slope is a lot higher. And if you just spend a few seconds going further to the right and then jump over, it's a much easier jump, and if you do fail the jump you're not going to instantly die in the quicksand. So it just makes more sense. So right here we actually got here so early that we had to wait for the tox box to move. Now if I was just doing a run I would actually fly over the tox box, but I wanted to make it more beginner friendly by doing that. Also with the rabbit star, I'm not sure if you noticed, but in the 70 star tutorial I told you if you missed the rabbit then just get him on the way to Dada Docks. But in 120 star, if you miss the rabbit, go chase after him and get him, because you need to actually get him before the second one spawns. So if you do miss him you're going to lose more time because you have to just go get him. So this next star here, the pillar star, something I kind of wouldn't recommend you do is go up the left side of the pillar. I kind of went up the middle of the pillar, I should have gone more to the right there, but it still worked for me. And basically if you go too far to the left you can lure the shy guy over to you, and it can mess up where the shy guy is when you long jump, so stick to the right side of the pillar. I know it's slightly slower but it's way safer and you're not going to have issues with the long jump. So yeah, that's all I've got to say about that star really. Star order kind of matters in this level. You want to save the top of the pyramid star till last, and it's just that once you've done the top of the pyramid one on the outside of the pyramid, it spawns tornadoes in the quicksand pits, and you don't want that because it messes you up when you're doing the shell star and when you're doing 100 coin star and red coin star. They just get in the way. So this trick here is called topless, and basically it skips having to go on the elevator all the way down to the iRock fight, and I decided to include it. It is a little bit of a difficult trick, you have to do a difficult triple jump there, but once you get it down it's really consistent and it saves a lot of time, because otherwise you'd have to either do pillarless or you'd have to do just going on the pillars, and then you have to go all the way in the top, wait on the elevator for it to go all the way down, and it takes way too long. If you just enter the pyramid at the bottom and you get on that little platform and you line it up with Mario Cam and you triple jump, then you can easily get into it and you can barely grab the ledge on the triple jump. So just practice that trick a lot. It's not something you're going to just get first try in a run, that you're going to have to spend a little bit of time on it. In 120 you're going to have to do that anyway. This is the kind of category that you can't really just run on and off. You kind of have to put a lot of time into it, because it is a really long category and there's a lot to practice and it's pretty difficult, and there's all these 100 coin stars. It's not like 16 star where you can just kind of run it now and then. As a new player you kind of have to be quite committed to run 120. So we're going to do the shell star now. So this is instead of doing pillarless. Now one thing I would be careful of is breaking the shell, because if you break the shell that can suck. Just try not to ram it into any walls, and when you're going up the pillars try and go up nice and straight, because I've noticed if I go up at weird angles the shell can sometimes break. Also try and touch the centers of all the pillars, because if you go on like the edge sometimes it doesn't count and then the pyramid head doesn't lift up and it can be really annoying. So yeah, just try and do that, because if one of them doesn't work it takes a little while to figure out which one didn't work and it's really annoying. So next star we're going to do is 100 coin star. So the star order in this level, it doesn't matter really too much on the order. Doing the bird star can be good early on, because if you don't get the bird star early on, the bird can sometimes get in the way when you're doing 100 coin. and if you do bird star, remember that the bird will chase after you. But with the movement we do, it doesn't really matter too much. So right at the start there, you want to grab the box. I'm kind of talking late, like I'm kind of talking way after things have happened, but with the 100 coin start, you basically want to get the shy guy to kill the bob-ombs, and you can kick a bob-omb into the shy guy as well to kill him. It's a really weird start, you're just going to have to get used to it. And basically you just want to get all these coins here from the Pokios, and you want to get the red coins in the sky. Make sure to get every coin I'm getting on this route as well, because you're not really able to miss any coins. Well, you can, it's not the end of the world, but you have to like chase after some Goombas in the pyramid, and it can be quite slow. So make sure to get all the coins. Something you want to be careful of is this wing cap, because if you're too slow on this section outside, it can run out and you can fall down into the quicksand. So make sure that if you think it's going to run out, get the other wing cap from the pyramid. Because on the front of the pyramid, there's a regular box of the 1-up and there's a box of the wing cap. So if you think it's going to run out, just go back and get it. It doesn't hurt to lose like 10 seconds and be safe. So once you enter the pyramid, jump over to the left, get all these coins. Make sure you get all of them because they're on a slope and it can sometimes be easy to miss them. Carefully jump down these platforms and make sure to get the secret coins because they're important, because we're getting the secret star with 100 coin. Long jump over here and get these coins. Long jump back here. Now starting out, I would recommend going a bit slower than that, even though I still didn't go too fast there. You just make sure you don't want to fall down, because if you fall all the way down the pyramid, you have to climb all the way back up, and it takes forever. So make sure you get all the coins necessary on the way down, so you don't have to climb all the way back up, even if you have to adjust the camera or you have to like stop for a minute. It's better than just dying or falling. So there you go, that's the 100 coin star. Like I was saying, there is a few Goombas that you can get if you did miss like the odd coin. Like right here you'll see there's 3 Goombas, and there's I think there's 1 or 2 up here as well that you can get. So it's not the end of the world if you miss too many. Something else that I'm going to talk about now is camera angles. It was something I was meant to talk about in the first part, but I didn't really go on about it too much. So camera angles can be good to reduce lag, obviously, but another use for them is that they can just give you easier angles for stars, and you can build muscle memory with camera angles. And the weird thing is, when I play this game, I don't even know what all the camera buttons are on each star. Like if you were to tell me a star and what inputs I had to press, I'd have no idea. When I'm playing the star, I just naturally press the right buttons at the right time, and it's really weird. And once you start playing this game more, and once you understand the camera more and how Mario Cam works, you'll be better. So if for some reason you really don't know, Mario Cam C down gives you more freedom of the camera and you can turn it in more ways. Mario Cam's basically like a close-up of Mario. And with Lakitu Cam C down is usually the recommended camera for most stars. And just regular Lakitu Cam is slightly different to Lakitu Cam C down, because I'm not entirely sure. It just gives you slightly different angles, I guess. It's hard to explain, really. So we're entering Hazy Maze Cave now. If you want, you could do Lethal Lava Land and then Hazy Maze Cave. It really doesn't matter too much, but I'm just doing it in the order that top runners do it in, because I guess it makes more sense. So then you can compare your times and your splits. So I'm going to do 100 coin, and if you're slightly familiar with this game, there is 2 routes for the 100 coin. There's the no BLJ route, and then there's the BLJ route. And if you don't know what backwards long jump is, you might need to know, because we're going to be doing a pretty difficult backwards long jump in this star towards the end of it. And it saves a lot of time because we don't have to go all the way around the maze, and we don't have to kill a certain eyeball. So I was going to include the regular route because 1, you could do it in the All-Stars version, and 2, I guess it might be more accessible for people who find the backwards long jump hard, but if anything, I think the regular route is actually harder because you have to run around that eyeball in that tight space, and it's actually really easy to die because he does a lot of damage. And I found that when I was practicing that route, I always kept dying to it, and I didn't find it very beginner friendly myself, so I just didn't do it in the end. So you just want to follow the route I've done so far. Obviously get the red coins that are high up and wait on the elevator. You can do the elevator skip where you slide down and jump off a box, but it's pretty challenging, and I didn't really want to include it because it can be a bit of a run killer starting off, and it's not really something you need to worry about quite yet when you're first getting into 120 and getting sub 2. So just do this route, kill the eyeball on that first platform. It's the second eyeball that you don't want to bother with, the one in the corner of the room. So after doing that, you should be at 38 coins, so enter the maze. Do a slide kick into the maze. Slide kicks aren't really used in many places, but they are quite handy. So do remember to use them, because they actually do serve a purpose in a lot of places in 120 star. So get these blue coins here, make sure not to miss any, because obviously if you miss any blue coins you're going to have to go out of your way to get other coins. If you do miss any, head to your right before going through this door, and there's some bats and there's some of those things. I think they're called pea-hats. No, I'm thinking of Wind Waker. Why am I saying enemies out of Wind Waker? What are they called? Sniffits. There's some sniffits you can kill. Right here, this is the BLJ, and this is another mistake I made. I missed the BLJ on my first go at it. So what you want to do with the BLJ, it's really weird to explain, you might have to look up a tutorial. This is kind of a tutorial though, this is more just talking about the route and things you need to do. It's not really a tutorial individual tricks in detail. But basically the way I'd explain it is you want to wait in the bottom right corner of the elevator, and when it gets to about that height there, you want to triple jump through the ceiling, and as soon as you're through, angle Mario so he's facing like the elevator, and long jump onto the elevator, and as soon as you hit the elevator, mash as fast as you can, just mash A as fast as you possibly can, and then when the elevator reaches the top you should be long jumping against the cage, and if you got enough speed from the actual BLJ itself, you'll be able to clip the cage and get this ring of coins. The reason it saves so much time is because 1, getting to these ring of coins any other way is really slow, and also we're able to get back to the main room nice and easily, and it skips having to do a few other things in the no BLJ route. And another reason why I included it, yes it is a pretty difficult trick for beginners, but it's something that once you get better at 120, it's going to become more natural, and it's something that's kind of needed if you want to get good at 120, because it saves quite a lot of time over doing the regular route. So yeah, that's why I included it, plus I'm just more familiar with it, and I believe that people should do that route, because 120 is a difficult category anyway, so I don't see why not I should include difficult tricks. The way I'm wording all this is really weird, but oh well. So, after you've done 100 coin, you're free to do any star you want. Well, at this stage you can do the stars in any order you want actually. This is one of the only stages you can do the stars in whatever order you want, because you actually don't need metal cap for any of them, even though you're meant to use metal cap casually. You actually don't even need metal cap to complete anything in this run. You can do the entire run, and I do the entire run without the metal cap, because it saves time, because you have to press the switch, and everything that requires metal cap, there's ways around doing it without, somehow. Vanish cap is impossible because there's a few stars that need vanish cap. A wing cap, obviously there's loads of flying, and there's high ledges, so that'd be impossible to skip. Vanish cap I think would be impossible to skip as well, because the stars that do require vanish cap, there's no way of BLJing into the spots or clipping into the spots. I think even if there was, it wouldn't even save time, because you need to do the vanish cap star anyway, so yeah. That's just my opinion, but metal caps, skipping metal cap saves time, because metal cap's dead slow anyway. So next we're going to go for this star here. I was just getting a few fast stars while I was talking. Over these really fast stars I might just talk over them, because I don't really need explaining. But when a star has got like a notable trick, I will explain it. Like right here I did a little sniffit jump, and basically I just long jumped onto its head. Now during certain jumps you can hold back, and obviously certain angles, to change where you'll land. And that is quite important in 120, it's something you're going to really need to get used to when you're running this game at a higher level. Because that's very important to get good angles and to change your angles during mid-air, and that can also be very helpful for certain hard tricks when you start learning them later on. And even just playing at like this level, it's nice to know, and it's needed in places. So right here, like I was talking about camera angles, and as you can see right at the start, I always go into a certain camera angle, so I always have the same inputs to do. But if I just randomly put the camera in places, it wouldn't really be good. But having a camera with set angles is really helpful for this game, and if it wasn't for the camera, I think this game wouldn't be where it was now. Because I know a lot of people casually, and even when I played this as a kid casually, I used to complain about how terrible the camera is. But since speedrunning it, I think the camera is actually really clever, and it's pretty amazing at what you can do with it, and how it can help you in stars. Like with Cannonless, if it wasn't for the camera, that star wouldn't really be possible. Well, it would be possible, but the setup wouldn't be possible, because it requires having a certain angle on the camera to get it. So just finishing off HMC now, there's just 2 stars left. The star I just did, it's called Christmas Miracle, because if you hit the switch, you basically do a triple jump to the switch, and you land on it and it activates through the water if you get a lot of height on the triple jump. If you do miss it, you can kick the cage in front of it, like double jump kick, and land back on it. The star I just went for, where I did a triple jump over the wall, you may have wondered why it held back so much, and that's just because if you hold straight forward, you're going to land in an invisible death zone and die. And it's really weird here to me, you can get out of bounds in loads of different places. I'm going to show you a little back up here. So if you do fail this triple jump, if you don't get enough height or you land back in bounds like that, you can just do the elevator clip. So basically wait for the elevator to go down, and then get in position and you'll be clipped down. Elevator clip is a few seconds slower, but in my opinion it's way more consistent for new players. And if anything, I'd just recommend doing elevator clip rather than that other strat, because it's really consistent and easy and there's nothing to worry about. So metal cap right here, I like to go into Mario Cam near the start because I find it easy to get good angles on like the dives and long jump, and long jumping over to the other platform. And then what you want to do is you want to just get all the coins really fast, like I did there. And if you're not confident at doing that, then you want to activate the switch and get a second metal cap. But if you're confident at doing it fast enough that it doesn't wear off, then just do that, like I just did. So there's Hazy Maze Cave. Hazy Maze Cave's a really weird level because you can save and lose a lot of time in it based on a few tricks, because it's a really difficult level. It's one of the hardest levels in the run, so don't feel bad if you mess up on it. There's a lot of levels in Basement that are difficult. Like I'd say Shifting Sandland's another one that's one of the hardest. Even Lethal Lava Land, even though in a way it is really easy, there is still quite a few hard things in this level that you gotta be aware of. So this red coin star, very easy. You just long jump over, dive into the red coins, go around. Nice and simple. A lot of the stars in this level are nice and simple because it's either like killing bullies or just movement. Like the star order in this level does matter because you want to do the 100 coin star last, but other than that the star order doesn't matter. Just make sure to do 100 coin star last. Right here you can fly over the cage and then get the star. In 16 star in the BLJ route you have to do a different trick where you triple jump and you will kick off the cage from a certain place, and it's really weird and difficult. But in 120 and 70 star you have the wing cap, so you can just fly straight over. It's a really weird exploit, like it's really weird how Nintendo didn't think of removing that or adding an invisible barrier. It's quite nice, this game. It's actually a miracle how a lot of these tricks work. So if it wasn't for like a few things, like certain out of bounds things that you can access or certain walls that they could have added, like half the tricks in this gameplay wouldn't be possible if they patched certain things. Like obviously this game will still be amazing, but it's just weird how certain tricks work and how the route works and everything. Like it's just amazing in my opinion. So we just did the first volcano star, and I'm not sure if you noticed this, but you probably haven't noticed yet because we're not getting into it yet, but we don't do lava boost in this category, and that's because we do 100 coin with the main volcano star. And that's because there's a lot of coins on the way up the volcano, so it makes no sense to skip them all. And it's a really convenient star to do with the 100 coin star because you get the shell after doing all the stars outside the volcano, so you can use the shell to get all the coins on the outside, and then you can go inside, get a few coins going up, and it just makes it nice and easy. So another thing you can do right here, when you're long jumping onto this slope here, if you hold down Z and do a jump dive, you can jump off of really steep slopes. It's a really weird mechanic, and it's something I didn't really fully understand until about a year ago. But if you hold Z on slopes, you can jump off of them easier. It's a really strange mechanic. I kind of don't get why that's the case, because if anything you'd think holding Z would make you fall down slopes, because Z is like the crouch button. But no. So there we go, we're just going to do 100 coin star now. So we're nearly at 50 stars, so this is going to be like a 46-minute Lethal Lava Land, which is about 5 minutes off world record, and that may sound pretty bad, but remember 120 star is like one of the most competitive categories ever in speedrunning, and this is a beginner friendly route. So this is not bad. Being 5 minutes off world record, like almost an hour in to one of the most competitive games, is really good, I think. Obviously it's not incredible, like it's not like super insane, but I think it's pretty good in my opinion. So right here with the shell, main things to talk about with the shell is try and keep your speed. Like, it's really easy to lose speed on certain turns and to get hit by bullies and lose your speed. And just make sure not to break the shell, because breaking the shell will either result in dying or having to do the same star but on foot instead of riding around on the shell, and it makes the whole star slower, or you have to redo the star. So just make sure not to break the shell at all costs, because it's very important. So going up the volcano, you make sure to enter the volcano with at least, I'd say, 80 coins, because I think there's 20 coins on the way up. So I entered with 83, so I'm able to miss 3 coins, so I've missed 2 so far. So I can get 4 here. Like, I could have missed an extra coin on the way up, but I couldn't really find a convenient one to miss. But if you do enter with extra coins, you can miss the odd coin or 2 to save a little bit of time. Because obviously if you save a few seconds here and there, I know I said saving like a few seconds here and there is not that important in 120 in the grand scheme of things. But obviously if you save a few seconds on, like, say if you save like 3 seconds on 15 stars, you'll save like 45 seconds, and that's pretty big. So yeah, I think it does matter in a way, but don't be practicing really hard tricks for hours on end if it only saves like 3 seconds, when you could easily practice movement for like half an hour and end up saving like 10 seconds to just getting better at a certain star. So right there with the MIPS, I basically lured him round to Shifting Sandland, and that's just because with the way people grab MIPS normally, it's really weird, and sometimes MIPS can end up running forward down the corridor, and sometimes MIPS can just completely back on you, and it's really easy to just be running around for ages. If you lure him into that corner where Shifting Sandland is, it's really easy to just grab him. So it does lose a little bit of time, but obviously it's way more consistent, so I decided to go for that in this tutorial. And now we're going to do Vanish Cap. So we've done with Basement, and after we've done Vanish Cap, I'm going to end the video because the next part is going to be on Cool Cool Mountain, Big Boo Hunt, Dada Docks, and Fire Sea. And that'll be interesting. So that's the end of Basement segment, and with Vanish Cap right here, it's another one of those stars where you just need to kind of practice it a lot. Like, it's not going to come easy. A lot of things in this game don't come easy. You need to put a lot of time and effort into them. Like, it's the kind of game that you get better at by just playing. I know with some games, just having more knowledge on them or watching other people play them or things like that, like, or learning setups for things, that's how you get better. With a game like Mario 64, you just have to keep practicing movement and just keep getting more comfortable with the controls. And there you go. You can do a text box skip there on the Switch by triple jumping over the cage. It's called Siglemic. It's pretty cool. Just did that. But that's the end of part 2. If you enjoyed the video, please like the video and subscribe if you're new around here. Stay tuned for part 3.